Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tosh Talks. I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a great day today. My name is Tosh Berman. I am Tosh. I'm talking, therefore that's why the show is called Tosh Talks. And I am the book buyer for Book Soup, a bookstore in West Hollywood. It's on Sunset Boulevard, 8818 Sunset Boulevard. If you want to come down and see me, don't. Call first, email me. I'll see you. But in other words, back to the subject matter. TASCHEN has just put out an inexpensive version of photographs 1961-1967 by Mr. Dennis Hopper. Now, if you can imagine, last year they put out a limited edition $1,000 version of this book. And I think it's basically sold out now, though we do have about 2 or 3 copies left at Book Soup, and they were signed by Dennis Hopper, and we still have that. This is sort of the people's book. It's $69.95 plus sales tax. And it's everything the expensive edition has, but a tad smaller. And as you can see how small I am compared to this book. This book is still pretty large. See how, like a child, you don't want to put this book by a child because it falls. It'd be terrible. But anyway, this is a very fascinating book on, we all know who Dennis Hopper is. I don't think I've explained to you who Dennis Hopper is, the actor, the photographer, the artist, the art collector, who tragically passed away last year. He was also a friend of my family, my father and mother. My father was Tosh Berman, an artist. And Dennis collected, had an incredible collection of artwork from a lot of great artists, and my dad was part of that collection. And anyway, this book not only pretty much has all of Dennis's photographs, but it also serves as a visual biography on him as well. It goes into his movie work, his private life, his art collection, as well as his documenting the art scene of Los Angeles of the late 50s and early to mid 60s. And this book is beautifully designed. Really, even in this size, this book should be like $100 instead of $69.95. You get these incredible, like, double spreads. Surely you can see this, but you can't see my mouth, but it's okay. But there's a lot of like double spread stuff in here. In a way, it reminds me of very much like William Klein, another favorite photographer of mine. And Dennis really captures sort of the whole like Los Angeles urban aspect of it. You know, he photographed a lot of signs off buildings, off billboards, newspapers, and in a way, you can see that Dennis was interested in painting, like abstract stuff, so it's kind of interesting that he photographed things that are just almost like abstract painting, but it's actually outside of buildings and stuff like that. And this is like one of my favorite ones. Right here's like a billboard, I presume. I just love that image. Dennis, as I said, is a man of many hats. He's an actor, a filmmaker, and made art objects. But I feel his strongest work, to be quite honest, and this is only my totally subjective, is a photographer. I think his photography is excellent. Again, another beautiful double spread of his work. It's nice. It's great when you see a photo book that has like they use 2 pages to show one work. It's really nice. And this is my favorite one. It's like Hollywood Boulevard. Again, it sort of reminds me of William Klein, but not imitating William Klein, but just sort of like a feel of just capturing the dynamics of a city over a time or a moment. And the sort of lone figure walking down the street. I think it's incredible. And this is kind of nice one. This one is kind of a beautiful one, too. Hardcore Los Angeles, early 60s. Take my word for it. And this one's actually kind of great too. This sort of like reminds me of West Side Story. It's probably somewhere in New York, I presume. But I love the sort of the energy and the sort of the dancing of the images in here and the people in here. And He photographed his friends, like the beautiful, sexy Jane Fonda on the beach, taking a shot at somebody in a bow and arrow. And this is kind of an interesting photograph to me. This is actually people I know. You're not going to be able to see this really, but this is Bruce Conner and some girlfriends of his or friends. Bruce is in the guy with the suit and tie. That's Bruce Conner, a great artist, a great filmmaker, incredible filmmaker. This person where my finger's tapping, that's Tony Basil, who's famous for the song Mickey, and also one of the great choreographers of pop rock history ever. And the girl on my left, far left, that is the actress Terry Garr. And they're all in the great world of Dennis Hopper. And there's actually a great scenes where Dennis was one of the early guys who participated with Andy Warhol in the factory scene. There's a great portrait of Warhol at the factory. And this is kind of a famous portrait. And actually, I think Dennis made a painting portrait of this as well. It's sort of a classic Warhol portrait. And this is kind of great. These are some Warhol people here. And the guy in the mirror here, this is actually a great artist by the name of Jack Smith, who was a filmmaker and also a theater person in New York City in the early 60s. And he was way ahead of his time and really a genius. And the guy who actually inspired Warhol in his films at the time. A very important cultural figure. And a classic portrait of Ed Ruscha, one of LA's great artists. A very handsome man. We can all agree on that, I think. And last but surely, one of the reasons why I bought this book is a portrait of my father on the motorcycle, Tosh Berman, my father. And again, this book documents pretty much all the Los Angeles artists of that time period, the 60s and 50s. And the way the book is laid out, again, is really beautiful. And it's really a fantastic book. And I can look at this image forever and ever. And hear him sort of photographing the bands at that time. This is Jefferson Airplane, the Birds, Loving Spoonful, and the great Buffalo Springfield. So it's kind of interesting that Dennis' photographs were all pretty much in the 60s. I don't recall him ever doing anything in the 70s or 80s with photography that much. I think at that time he was devoted to making films and doing that sort of stuff, and acting as well. So anyway, I really strongly recommend this book. I don't think this book will last forever because it's so big. It can't be a huge print run. But again, it's a classic book of Dennis Hopper's work. And again, it reads the essay. There's an essay by Walter Hopps, who's an incredibly important and influential curator in Los Angeles. And he wrote a beautiful introduction to this book. And again, if you even have a slight interest in Los Angeles art or Los Angeles art history, you must get this book. If you're a Dennis Hopper fan, you probably have it already, because it's there are other books on Hopper that are quite good, but this one is really the essential one, and it's fantastic. So, Dennis Hopper, photographs 61 to 67, and actually bigger than the subject matter, because it's actually a biography of Hopper as well. You must get it. And that is another exciting episode of Tosh Talks. Thank you.